afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shahab Qarni on behalf of County Television Roundup. Welcome to our studios. Today, I have a great lady with a strong drive. Her name is Nina McHugh. That's how you say name?
Yes, that's how you say it.
All right. Well, the fame that she has attained in a very short span of time, and I've been hearing a lot of powerful, good stories about Nina, that she is an advocate and champion for foster parenting and the needs for the foster children. Nina, I'll ask Nina to explain what is so passionate about.
So I grew up in the foster care system, and I have three brothers. I have one brother right now that is in jail, serving a lifetime sentence. I have another brother, Wesley, who's homeless, living in Seattle with the Rainbow Tribe, and then my other brother, Christian, died of heroin when he was 27. I say that to say this. I was the oldest child in the foster care system growing up, and we were split up. And I had no idea what I would be coming home to on a day-to-day basis, if it would be a different social worker, if I would be packing up and going somewhere else, and if I even had anything to pack up. And I went through school. The school told me that I had a learning disability, so that I wasn't really going to get anywhere in life, and I knew that they were wrong. Turns out I was actually dyslexic, which is something that is common for children like me, and they didn't have the tools or the assessments to even find out what needs I needed. And something that's really cool is last session in Annapolis, there was the Ready to Read Act, which would help children who are dyslexic to be identified, and then therefore they would get the tools that they need to help them succeed in the future and not be misdiagnosed.
So, in other words, Nina, not only your personal journey from childhood to the point that you are now, you are a mother, you have a 9-year-old son.
9-year-old son.
My question is that because of all the handicaps and challenges,
Yes.
you are also part of the Democratic Central Committee as a member.
Yes.
How all these things happened?
This is amazing. So I was adopted at 10. My parents, they did an amazing job, but they didn't have the help that they needed from social services. And then I still failed. The school system still failed me, and I would keep my mouth shut about what I thought I needed for me because I didn't want them taking that away from me. So I had a very high resilience factor, and what I learned is if you speak up too soon, they're going to take it. So I went to college. I actually graduated on the dean's list. So not learning disorder. Thank you. Take that. And I got a job right away at Johns Hopkins Bayview as a senior rehab therapist. And I was working with children kind of like myself, but they were in families that these children had a lot of behavioral and mental difficulties, and they didn't really know what outlets they had. And we were their last resort. So we would go into the families and we would go into the homes and we would teach them these skills, but they weren't able to utilize it. And I was like, that's enough. This happened to me and it's still happening.
So, Nina, I have a question that while working with the political system in the state of Maryland, how do you find the state of Maryland responsive to the needs of the foster children?
Because at the end of the day, policy dictates everything. And when you're working in the schools and you're working with families who don't know how to even advocate for themselves or the students that they serve, where else do you go except for the establishments that create the policies?
Policies, budgeting.
Budgeting is a huge factor. We don't have social workers. I went through social workers like crazy.
But keeping in mind whatever your personal experience or the history,
Yes.
do we see a big number in the state of Maryland for the foster children?
So in Baltimore County alone, there are 550 foster care children. There are only 138 foster homes. So that means kids are in group homes. If the group homes are filled, they're going into hospitals, they're going into police stations, and we are failing our kids.
I like that. She said, Nina just said, ladies and gentlemen, failing our kids. So I think the administration in place for next 3.5 years, the state level, Governor Larry Hogan, his team, needs to be more attentive to the needs. In future, Nina, what do you think? What's going to help as an advocate, as a champion for this cause? What is your roadmap or what is your path?
So I would really like to implement a Bill of Rights for foster care children in Maryland. We don't have that. And kind of what that means, let's say there are homes out here where that is a base for silent human trafficking. And if we don't have a Bill of Rights, a social worker could come in, interview the kid for 5 minutes with the people that they're living with, and they can't even say what's going on. So a Bill of Rights would ensure that they would have one-on-one visits, that the visits would be longer, that there would kind of be this relationship where the social worker would be a safe haven for this child. And we do not have that. The institution of DSS and social workers as a whole, it's not built to be conducive for that kind of stable working relationship.
Talking about Baltimore County, so far we have new administration, we have a new county executive, and you are part of the system or the machine in a good sense.
Yes.
How receptive his new administration is towards the needs that you are experiencing?
So I've started this a long time ago. I started at the bottom with working in the education and becoming a huge education advocate. And when you work your steps up, people become more open. You can't just blast them with hey, this is going on, because this is something that's really important to me. So I created a platform where I was able to become a voice. And we're seeing that now. So I was the person that started the Parkville Network, which is a huge organization under the Student Support Network. And what that does is it helps kids in Parkville High School, which is in my district, and it has the highest number of homeless students and students in poverty. And there's this closet that we have clothes, food, school supplies, bed sheets, toilet paper, shampoo, deodorant. If you need it, it's there for these students. And then we also have other programs that the Parkville Network supports, like the AVID program and the Food for Thought program, where students will take home a book bag of food for the weekends.
Nina, you opened our eyes. I mean, we, the county media, county television, we didn't have this clue about the needs, about the work needs to be done.
Right.
So definitely County TV or media group is going to be extending to you all the help that we can, humanly possible. But good luck to you. We'll keep inviting you for our future interaction, especially on this subject. We're so thankful that you came to our studios.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. This was a lot of fun, and I look forward to being a part of this in the future and continuing this fight.
Sure. Thank you, Neela.